This is the morning of the 31st of October. A clip put up by Far Unbalanced plays for just under 11 minutes. Donald Trump Jr. may also be suffering from cognitive decline. Makes perfect sense to me that dementia runs in the family. Trump's father has it. He's got it. I guess that's what Eric has to look forward to, as does his daughter, Ivanka. Let's have a listen to this.
Not all forms of dementia are genetic. However, there are plenty of forms of dementia that, of course, can be passed down through genes, making it more likely that an individual will suffer from dementia. And as everybody knows, Fred Trump, the patriarch of the disgusting Trump family tree, suffered from dementia in his last years on this earth. And as mental health experts have warned us, it seems that Donald Trump himself is headed down that path. And now, based on an appearance with Sean Hannity this week, it seems that Donald Trump Jr. might be suffering from some form of cognitive decline. Either that, or perhaps he's just not in his right mind through other means, but he definitely seemed to forget a lot of things that happened in the past during that very awkward interview with Sean Hannity. And he did so by completely ignoring the actual question that Hannity even asked him in the first place. So the whole thing was just a showcase of cognitive decline in a man that, at his age, should not be showing any cognitive issues. I will explain exactly what happened in just a moment, but first, a word from today's video sponsor.
Not interested in a word from your sponsor. Sorry.
First Nation.
Yeah. Don't know what's going on with this. Should be playing, but it's not. Oh, wait a sec. Maybe it is. I don't know.
America, yet it's buried. Making ground news essential right now.
He's still pitching his sponsor, I guess. Yeah, he's still pitching.
Then analyzing just how far right and radical each unbiased source actually is.
Come on, Ferron, I don't want to hear your bullshit.
The website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay.
Boy, he's really pitching his crap. I guess they're paying him, so what the hell, huh? Come on. Get back on topic.
Trump Jr. decides to go on Sean Hannity's program to run a little bit of interference for his dad's administration on the singular issue of the White House demolition. Donald Trump has taken a lot of crap for that. Obviously, you're doing this in the middle of a government shutdown. The optics of it politically, the optics of it visibly, really bad to be building a gilded ballroom as you're also telling Americans you're not going to get your social safety net benefits next month. So, Junior went out there to try to smooth things over for his dad, make it look like everything is totally good. So Hannity asks him a question about it. He says, now all it takes is one little minor Google search, or you can ask, Grok or ChatGPT, and you'll get an answer within seconds. And you get the whole history of renovations at the White House. So Hannity tees it up for Junior to say, listen, a lot of presidents in the past have come in and made changes to the White House, big renovations, small renovations. Everybody does it, so what's the big deal about your dad doing it? And Junior just went in a whole new direction and responded by saying this. Well, the Democrats aren't exactly the brightest people, Sean. We've seen that this whole week. Everything they say is sort of meaningless, right? They're talking about having a no kings protest, and congratulations, guys, you won. We don't have kings. We have a president that was elected in a landslide electoral college win, someone who won the popular vote, someone who won all 7 swing states in a landslide fashion, someone, by the way, who, if he was king, probably would just reopen the government. But it hasn't worked out that way. If he was a king, he probably would have never left the office the first time. Oh, it gets worse, folks. If he was a king, he wouldn't allow his government to prosecute and persecute him, and he certainly wouldn't allow people to assassinate him, or at least try twice. So this is just the usual Democrat nonsense. Oh boy, it is nonsense. Sure, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. It's not Democrat nonsense. Your whole answer, which wasn't an answer to the question at hand, is what's nonsense. Okay, let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. First, you say Democrats aren't bright. You were asked a specific question that you didn't answer, and you have the audacity to say that we on the left are not bright? I don't know, man. I haven't seen you at any of those Mensa colloquiums that I've gone to, so I'm going to go with the left is a little bit smarter on that.
Fair and Balanced should have reminded him that both he and his father and his brother and his sister and his whole family were Democrats, right up until Trump came down that escalator.
But in general, too, you're not a smart guy. Like, you're very dumb, and your response here proves it. Then, of course, yeah, we know we don't have kings. That's the point of the protest. Like, do you not understand that? Are you really that dense? Your dad is acting like a king. He has deployed the United States military into U.S. cities against U.S. citizens. Okay? May not necessarily be a king, but it sure as hell is a dictator, a fascist one at that. Also, you mentioned that your dad, if he were king, wouldn't have left office the first time. And this is where the cognitive decline comes in, or perhaps the temporary mental impairment, maybe due to something foreign being introduced into your system. I don't know. I mean, we've all seen the video of you reaching into your pocket and then rubbing something on your teeth. So, those of us who come from a party history know exactly what that usually means. I can't say you did or didn't, but, you do seem a little amped up a lot of the time, and that's not necessarily natural unless there's something in your body causing it. But your dad did try to stay in office even after he was supposed to leave. January 6th, the Capitol riot, none of that ringing a bell there, Junior? Have you just blocked it out of your brain? Are you on something that made you forget it happened? Or are you suffering from the familial cognitive decline? Because your dad didn't hit that point till his 70s. Your granddad, I think, was also in his 70s, 80s. You are in your 40s. And if you're already exhibiting symptoms of cognitive decline, which your response would suggest to me, then you may want to go ahead and wrap things up and get all your affairs in order, because your brain may not last much longer. And if the rumors about your drug use are true, that is absolutely going to exacerbate the problem. Like, you may fry yourself into full-blown dementia before you hit 50 years old. Again, if those rumors are true, I do not know if they are or not, but there's something wrong with this guy. And that's, I think, the best I can say about it, not to mention, like, he wouldn't have allowed people to assassinate him if he were a king. You said if he were a king, he would not have allowed people to try to assassinate him. But he's not a king. So he did allow it. I want everybody to understand that real quick, okay? Junior may have just confirmed those conspiracy theories. The whole thing was staged. I'm going to read you his statement again. If he was a king, he certainly wouldn't allow people to assassinate him, or try to at least twice. If he were a king, you wouldn't be allowed to try. But Junior says he's not a king, so they were allowed to try? I don't know. I think that's a pretty big thing there. Granted, a thing coming from somebody who I do believe is suffering from cognitive decline, from somebody who I personally do believe, based on what I've seen in videos, is probably on something as well. So God only knows we can't trust the guy, but kind of seems like something maybe everybody needs to talk about a little more, because that Junior was a hell of an admission. Thanks for watching.
So, like, what do you think, huh? Yeah, like I said, it's hereditary. No big surprise, but it is rather early if he's in his mid-40s. I'll attach the link. Look at it. Pass it along, and thanks for listening. What do you think Trump would pay to be as good-looking as I am, huh? With natural hair. And skin tone. No brown shit on my face. Plus, I'm 6 feet tall. Not short like him at 5'8". Plus, I'm not fat. Plus, I can play racquetball 3 days a week. He can't even walk in a straight fucking line. In a straight line. Have a look at it. Let me know what you think. And thanks for listening.